Hey, Frog Prince Rana here, and thank you for dropping by. First, let's address the elephant in the room. On August 26th, Japan said it had halted the use of 1.63 million Moderna doses shipped to 863 vaccination centers nationwide as a precaution due to reports of contaminations. The first contamination was reported to Takeda Pharmaceutical Company, Moderna's local distributor, on August 16th. That led to the discovery of 39 vials containing foreign material, all from the same lot of 57,000 vials, or about 570,000 doses. It suspended the use of the lot that included those vials and two similarly sized lots. On Sunday, a vaccination center in Okinawa Prefecture reported that contaminants were found in Moderna vials from a fourth lot. Also on Sunday, a vaccine center in Gunma Prefecture near Tokyo found a tiny black substance in a Moderna vial from another lot. Now, what is baffling to me is some anti-vaxxers are treating this news as some kind of win for them. My question, but why? Many of us had suspected NSA on snooping our data. It was a conspiracy for a long time. Then Edward Snowden blew the whistle on that, and then we all knew for sure. But in the case of this contamination, it was first a vaccination center that notified Takeda with the news. It wasn't some anti-vaxxer discovering a huge plot. So, if it is a global plot with whatever hidden agenda, why would the vaccination center not administrate this contaminated vaccine or just sweep it under the rug? Ravi, which bottles Moderna vaccines for markets other than the United States, said last week the batch in question was meant for distribution only in Japan. South Korea, which also received the Moderna vaccines produced from sites in the United States and Spain, said it was not affected. Now, is it the first time a product has been contaminated? Of course not. Is it the first time a medical item has been contaminated? Again, of course not. From 2012 to 2019, massive amounts of generic versions of an entire class of angiotensin II inhibitor blood pressure medications, collectively called sartans, were made with contaminated ingredients. In 2017, medical cannabis in California was found to contain dangerous bacteria and fungi, causing at least one fatality. In 2012, in the New England Compounding Center meningitis outbreak, 753 cases of fungal infections occurred with 64 deaths due to contaminated injectable medication. In 2009, 84 Nigerian children was reported to have died after being given Mypikin, a teething syrup contaminated with diethylene glycol. In 2007, same chemical was found in counterfeit Sensodyne toothpaste on sale at a car boot sale in Derbyshire, England. Also in 2007, pharmaceutical manufacturers used diethylene glycol, which they believed to be glycerin, to make cough syrup in Panama. In 1982, Tylenol pain relief capsules were laced with potassium cyanide, leading to 7 deaths, that is known as Chicago Tylenol murders. Food products aren't completely safe either. In 2020, in Jiangxi City, China, 9 people died after eating homemade fermented corn noodles contaminated with boric acid. In same year, sesame seeds sold in Europe, originating in India, contaminated with ethylene oxide. In 2019, dioxin contamination of eggs was found in Trapedo, Indonesia. In 2018, Australian strawberry were found to contain needles. 2017, we had fipronil eggs contamination in Europe. In 2016, confection is contaminated with the toxic insecticide Clofenapir caused 33 deaths in Punjab. There was Caraga candy poisoning in the Philippines in 2015. Also in 2015, in the US, Bluebell Creameries recalled 8 million US gallons of ice cream after an outbreak of listeria at one of their production facilities, led to 10 hospitalizations and 3 deaths. Same year, contaminated milk tea resulted in the death of 2 individuals and affected others in Sampaloc, Manila. In Mozambique, beer served at a funeral was contaminated with bunkeric acid, resulting in 75 deaths and more than 230 people falling ill. In 2013, halal lamb burgers contained samples of pork DNA, affected 19 schools in Leicester, UK. Same year, a Chinese crime ring was found to have passed off rat, mink, and small mammal meat as muttons for more than 1 million USD in Shanghai and Jiangsu province markets. A batch of 1,800 almond cakes with buttercream and butterscotch from the Swedish supplier Almandi, on its way to the IKEA store in Shanghai, were found by the Chinese authorities to have a too high amount of coliform bacteria and were subsequently destroyed. In Britain and Ireland, beef burgers were contaminated with horse meat. In 2012, frozen Chinese strawberries contaminated with norovirus infected over 11,000 children in Germany. I can go on and on. I'll just remind the beer drinkers, beer contaminated with arsenic had caused an epidemic of 6,070 cases in London, including 70 deaths, back in 1900. Also in the UK, nitroforans were detected in samples of prawn and shrimps imported from Southeast Asia in 2002. I actually remember that incident, as there were worries that other supplies may also stop due to this contamination. Fact of the matter is, product may be accidentally or deliberately contaminated by microbiological, chemical, or physical hazards. The Chicago Tylenol murders was a deliberate action, a series of poisoning deaths resulting from drug tampering in the Chicago metropolitan area in 1982. The victims had all taken Tylenol-branded capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide. A total of 7 people died in the original poisoning, with several more deaths in subsequent copycat crimes. No suspect was ever charged or convicted of the poisoning. The silver lining was, this incident led to reforms in the packaging of over-the-counter substances and to federal anti-tampering laws. The actions of Johnson & Johnson to reduce deaths and warn the public of poisoning risk have been widely praised as an exemplary public relations response to such a crisis. Back to Moderna incident. The Japanese health minister on Monday noted that some of the incidents reported may have been caused by needles being incorrectly inserted into vials, which may have broken off bits of the rubber stopper. Authorities are currently investigating the death of 2 individuals who had received doses of the Moderna vaccine from the now suspended lot. But experts remain skeptical about the possibility of the 2 deaths being caused by the reported contaminants. The risk that the foreign material causes some kind of a disease at the spot where it was injected, or that it circulates in the body's blood and causes a disease after the intramuscular injection through a 0.25 mm needle would be extremely unlikely. Infectious disease expert Dr. Takeshi Terashima told Japan TBS News. The vaccine maker is currently investigating the affected doses, while the Spanish plant that manufactured the shots said the affected batches were only shipped to Japan. Hopefully we'll soon find out the cause, and more importantly, we'll have additional security precaution in place to stop such incidents from happening again. Now, if you're holding off getting the vaccine and using the news as a talking point, let me break down some simple facts for you. Incidents change and reshape the world around us. A mechanism called the Cooper vein an aerodynamic device that prevents air stairs from deploying while midair, was installed on all Boeing 727 aircraft after a notice of proposed rulemaking on June 20, 1972. That name should already clue you to the reason. If not, another name, D.B. Cooper. 9/11 changed how security protocols work in the airport. In fact, many security features in aircrafts, automobiles, trains, and such has been put in place after unpredicted and unprecedented accidents. Just imagine how the world would look like if we stopped dreaming of flying after the first accident when Wilbur took the air, or we stopped automobile production after Henry Wells crashed into Evelyn Thomas, who was riding a bicycle back in 1896, or if we threw away all computers after possibly the first computer virus in the wild known as Elk Cloner. This is not a direct analogy, as vaccines have been thoroughly tested over thousands and thousands of people before it became available to general public. If you use this contamination as an excuse, you should stop getting on a plane as they do crash, stop using a vehicle as motor accidents happen, stop eating chicken because of salmonella, beef because of mad cow disease, vegetables as they are treated with fertilizers, even growing your food because of acid rain. Rant over. Grow up. Well, that's all for this video. If you think it's a worthwhile video and to ensure YouTube suggests it, please leave a like and even share it around. If you want to be super awesome, please consider subscribing so you can be updated with my new contents. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated and helpful for growth of my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Wherever you are, have a safe day. Signing off.